All right. Capital XTRA, what's going on? Robert Bruce, back with your favorite interviews from your favorite people in the UK. And on the video chat right now, I have a very, very important person that I hold close to my heart, you know. I've been supporting his music for a little bit, and to see the way how his career is just growing is absolutely amazing. It makes me glad to speak to him. I'm smiling. It's Happi on the line.
Yo,
How you doing, Happi?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad, man. How you been during the lockdown?
I've been all right, man. I'm coping. I'm trying my best. I actually did, and this is a record for me. I'm going to say this for you specifically so you know. I actually did 16,000 steps this morning.
16,000?
Just this morning.
Where did you go?
I just kept walking. My fiance yesterday said to me that she did 12,000 steps, but she said it really smug, like, oh, I did 12,000 steps, da-da-da.
Yeah.
But she told me, especially when we were going to sleep, because she knew, obviously, I can't do any more steps. So I said, watch, in the morning, I'm going to do 15,000. I don't care. And I did 16.
16.
There you go.
How long did it take you?
3 hours. Yeah. I left my house at 6:30, got back at 9:20.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're not playing games at all, man. Not at all.
Come on.
So for those the people listening right now on the radio that don't know who you are, yeah, who is Happi? Where does this journey start?
Well, from my 16,000 steps, I'm an athlete. That's the first thing. No, I'm joking. Yeah, man, I'm an artist. Been an artist for a while, but I've also added some new prongs to myself, production, songwriting, and things like that. And this kind of started a long, long time ago. From pretty young, like I always wanted to do music, and fell in love with just creating music, especially coming from church. You know, growing up in church, you've got choirs and musicians, and I remember being part of the youth choir and learning how to play instruments and sing and do different things like that. So I think that's pretty much the incubator that kind of birthed me as an artist. And yeah, man, it's just been a really dope journey ever since.
Okay, so you came in through like the whole church route. That's where you learned your craft and stuff.
Yeah, man, learned pretty much everything there.
Yeah. So who are your musical influences then? Say when you was growing up, who was you listening to?
When I was growing up, it was weird. It would range from different things. I've got an older brother, and my older brother was quite rebellious. So when we were growing up, he would play anything, regardless. And we shared a room. So I was probably listening to music that I shouldn't have been listening to from a very young age. So I was listening to DMX when I was 9 years old. I was listening to Usher. Usher was like my favorite growing up. I used to love Usher. Confessions, that was my album. Listening to a lot of Michael Jackson as well. And then even with like when my dad used to drive us around, every now and again, he would play like Luther Vandross, and he'll play Luther Vandross, he'll play like the Isley Brothers. So yeah, man, there's a lot. It's a big range. And then grime as well, you know.
Yeah, being from the UK as well. Yeah, no, that's a wide range of influences there. Because I was listening to all of your earlier music, like your earlier projects and stuff, and to see the way how your sound has changed over the years has been so interesting. But to know that you're so diverse as well.
Yeah, man. I love being able to experiment with sounds, but I'm learning that's a good place for me to funnel my production and songwriting, rather than being an artist that just is in every genre. I can actually produce and songwrite for people in different genres. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're going to talk about your production in a little bit, but I wanted to know, how did you even get the name Happi?
Happi. That is the question, the dynamite question. So I guess growing up, I grew up in quite an interesting area. I grew up in Hackney. That was actually where I was born and raised. And then moved to Eventful when I got a bit older. And it was quite a tough upbringing, you know, with my family and the things that we kind of experienced, you know, just being a young boy from ends. Like there's lots of things that you experience. And for me, there was a lot of struggles with kind of accepting myself, being happy within myself. You know, as a young boy, there'll be a lot of battles with like, you know, being sad or, you know, wanting acceptance, wanting people to just kind of like me for me and different things. And I remember just not being happy a lot of the time. And as I started to kind of change my life from kind of doing stupid things to doing a bit better and trying to actually be a positive influence in this world, and finding faith and, you know, obviously going to church and things like that, that kind of made me want to start to do a bit more for people and spread a bit more joy and happiness. Because I clocked it, like, everybody in ends isn't always sad. Like, there's no reason for you always to be upset. I don't care what you're doing on road. Sometimes you just want to smile. And so I ended up being that guy in the end that just wanted to smile a lot and make people happy. So that's pretty much where it came from. Just stay like that.
That's an interesting journey to the day, man. It's cool because the music makes people smile as well, man. You're spending good vibes, good positive energy and stuff.
There we go, man.
Over the past couple of years, a lot of people are knowing you for your productions as well. You do the whole Happi Flip This. Explain what Happi Flip This is, and talk to me about the story with you, Tion Wayne, Miss Banks, and Ambush. Tell me about all of this.
Good times, yeah. So last year, pretty much your Happi Flip This production in itself, I've always dabbled in production, but never done it like properly. Until last year, around this time last year, I released my single Wonder Woman, which was self-produced. And like everybody hit me up like, yo, you should be producing. In fact, it was Tion that said it first. I was like, you produced this, you should be producing, bro. Why you should be like going in on production. But I never saw myself as a producer. And then I ended up having this, someone sent me a tweet where, big up Mimi the blogger. Mimi must have tweeted, Tion Wayne and Ambush and Miss Banks should do this song, The Boy Is Mine, and someone should remix the beat. And I remember getting up from my bed and being like, okay. So I literally jumped online, made the beat, put it up, and I went again for a walk. I love my walks. So I went for a walk, and I came back, and the video went mad. And me and Tion were already going to link up that week, but he called me and was like, bro, I might as well come to you now because everybody's going crazy online. And then boom, we ended up doing kind of creating and, you know, had a session with Ambush as well. And yeah, man, it was crazy that it all kind of came together so fast. But yeah, that was pretty much the story. And that started the flips. So I just started doing the flips from then.
Shout out Mimi for real, Mimi the blogger on Twitter.
Big up Mimi.
He gave us the idea for this and people seem to forget her in the story. I'm glad that you shouted her out. Even I was speaking 100%. About it on my show. I think you put in your Instagram because I was speaking about it on my show. Yeah. Literally everyone was talking about it, man.
Literally. It was a mad time. Like I didn't expect it to go anywhere. And it kind of launched me producing for other people. From then, I just started producing for everybody. So it's weird, man. But I thank God it went that way.
Wicked. So talk to me about the UK music scene then, because obviously now people have recognized you. You've been integrated. What do you think of the UK music scene? Who's the GOAT?
Whew, hard questions.
I put you on the spot there.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I'm just gonna say people I want to work with. No, I'm joking. There's goats. There's a lot of goats. I love UK music because of its diversity, and I love the fact that we are extremely creative. Like there's certain people I listen to in the UK that are actually like my top artists in the world. Like someone like Wretch is one of the greatest lyricists on earth. I don't care what anyone says. People like NSG are like, in terms of their musical intelligence, ridiculous. Stormzy, amazing. Tion, of course. Like, there's a whole array of guys that I'm just like, yo, what they're doing is Jay Huss, like, Lil Ash, like these guys. When I say pen, writing, creating, top notch.
There's a few good names in there, man, which is cool. And you mentioned your song Wonder Woman just before. Was this like a turning point in your career? Talk us through this song. We're going to play it. Was this a turning point for you? Like a lot of people came to discover you via this.
Yeah, Wonder Woman was mad as well because the story behind it is tough. We were in an odd situation. Best thing I can say is we kind of had something on the table and it looked really good and it was so promising. And I was in Romania with my producer, Comens. Shout out Comens.
Is that in terms of like deals and stuff?
No, so I was in Romania to do a school tour, but we had a deal on the table at the time.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So we were having these conversations back and forth for months. And then right before I went on stage to perform for these kids on the final night of the tour, I got a call saying the deal is off the table. And it crushed my soul, my insides. These kids are screaming, heavy, heavy. And I'm like, heartbreaking. And then I had to go on stage, perform, came back for a week. I was like low. I was in bed, didn't do nothing. And literally the day that I got out of bed and decided, let me try something, I made Wonder Woman in like 30, 40 minutes. Just like that.
No way.
Crazy. And then it just put it on Twitter. pull it on Insta. It took off, and within 3-4 days, I had to pull it out because people kept asking for it, and then it just went. Like the song just really did well.
Yeah, no, it did well. I think a lot of people got some heat from you. You even got the remix from Oxlade as well.
Yeah, big up Oxlade.
How did that line up? That's a big
yeah.
big remix.
Yeah, man. So an amazing guy, Bizzle, the plug, who manages Oxlade. Me and him have been talking for a long time, and he always kind of kept me in mind. So when Oxlade was in the UK, literally the day after I went viral with the flip with Tion, Oxlade was in my house the day after. The day after.
No.
The day after. And that's when we recorded the verse. He came to my house day after. We recorded a bunch of stuff. So there's more stuff that people ain't heard.
Who else have you worked with that we don't know about yet that you could tell us about?
Ooh.
UK-wise.
Ooh. That's ooh, boy. I'm trying to think, what can I say and not say? There's a lot of stuff coming. I think over the next few months, there's a lot that people will see. That's the best way I can say. As a producer, I've defo sent beats to some of the kind of biggest artists in this country. So there's more to come. Defo.
All right then, say no more.
Defo.
You got the current single that's out now as well, Bel Air. This is the one that I've been playing heavily. It just sounds so good.
Thank you.
On the radio. No, it sounds so good, man. It's really good vibes. I think our fans love it as well. Talk to me about this song.
Yeah, man. So Bel Air, it's so interesting because Bel Air is part of this journey as well. After the flips things happened and everything went crazy, I had a weird decision to make because everybody was like, produce. Some people were like, be an artist. Some people were like, do both. So I wasn't really sure what to do. And then we got to the end of the year last year and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, do I want to be a producer or an artist? Like, how's this going to work? And it came to a point where I was making this beat for someone else. And I was like, I don't care. I'm just going to make it my own tune. Then the hook I actually wrote for Burna Boy. The hook for Bel Air, I actually wrote for Burna Boy for another song that he probably never heard. But someone sent me something to write a top line for Burna. So I wrote it, sent it. They didn't really like it. So I was like, cool. But now that's the hook for Bel Air. So
yeah,
don't mind.
That is amazing. And even through this process, so it's come back around 360. Deal got pulled off the table, but you've managed to find yourself in a new situation now. Talk to me about the joy and emotions through that. You see how everything lines up for a reason.
Bro, and literally, when I say, so the deal got pulled off the table the maybe second week of April 2019, and I signed my new deal second week of April 2020.
Wow. Talk to me about, break down that process for me.
Boy, it was a lot of emotions. It's odd doing anything like that in lockdown. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm a man of experience. Like, I would do I'm very like, I enjoy experiences. I don't really care that much about the like a money thing or a like clout thing. I'm more experienced. So I'll go with you to somewhere far just to have the experience of going. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. And so not kind of getting the experience of going into these buildings and looking at the plaques on the wall like you're in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and that, and you're just, oh my God. Not having those experiences was really tough. But I think signing the deal was amazing. And obviously, you're one of the first people that I told, like, as soon as I signed, because there's a certain level of support that you've been giving me through this song, and like I really appreciate it. So I wanted to make sure I let you know. And it was emotional. You know, my family's been kind of supporting me all this time. My fiance has been supporting me all this time. So it was good to kind of get a bit of vindication for the work that we've been doing and some validation for what's been going on.
No, that is definitely a good story, man. And it's so funny. You and your dates, I don't know what you do, but when you put it into the atmosphere, something happens. Last year, May 5th, you won't even remember, but you tweeted that you wanted me to interview you. And look, the next year, go check the tweets.
Down.
Yeah.
No way.
You have to check the tweets.
Funny?
What?
I also tweeted that I would be doing wireless this year. And obviously, that's not happening. So that
Oh,
hurts. That really hurts. When I heard that it's not happening this year, they're going to move it to next year, I literally wanted to cry. I was like, it was possible.
Oh, good. No, there's more to come. There's definitely more to come,
for sure.
man. And we have to do a proper, you come to the studio, we chat properly. Yeah. The video call's nice, but we need to do, you're an experience, man. So we have to do that as well.
Exactly. I need to fill the table and you get me, be able to look across and laugh and be like, rah, Capital XTRA. Nice.
Don't worry, we'll get that done one day, man. For real.